Starrcade 89, Future Shock. Wednesday, December 13th, Turner Home Entertainment presents the pay-per-view event of the decade. Ric Flair, Lex Luger, the Great Muta, and Sting battle each other individually, while tag teams, the Road Warriors, Skyscrapers, Steiners, and Doom take on one another in one full 15-minute bouts where sudden death rules. Starrcade 89, Future Shock. Call your cable operator for availability.
Imagine that many people like around me and me. I was invited to go on an Alaskan cruise with my in-laws, and I'm like, no, I will commit murder if I went on that cruise.
Dude, I loved it.
And I could tell you who I'd be murdering.
Yeah, okay, well that's true too. That was the hardest part. That was the
let that run ride the waves.
Yeah, folks. Well, we're coming in hot. We're coming in hot, brother. Yeah, cruising was what WCW was doing at this time, wasn't it?
Man, I'm not sure how I felt going into this episode, but I spent the last 20 minutes watching shoot interviews about Buzz Sawyer, so I am fucking ready to go.
Dude, I did another one where I spent all day yesterday, quite literally all day almost yesterday, aside from listening to Sit Down the Hard Way, the mega episode this week about All In. I did listen to every fucking second of that show. And all of you should do that too, by the way, because that was a great fucking episode. You get Kurt
Sit Down the Hard Way.
Yeah, man.
Sit Down the Hard Way is definitely an appropriate reaction for our group.
And they definitely there is a pun segment during the main event discussion, of course. But, bed of nails, that's really sitting down the hard way, Kurt Jangle's on that fucker. Our newly adorned sicko, even though he's been around forever, Pippin. They gave us the deets, man. That was a good episode.
Yeah, no. I just finished it this morning, actually, on the dog walk. So.
But other than that, that's what I was getting to, was I was listening to another highly recommended podcast, which is the Center Stage Chronicles, which is part of the whole Between the Sheets universe. And they specifically talk about WCW. And they actually started, their shit was from 89, because that's when they really got into it. It's Rob Naylor. It's Charles from Wrestling Playlist and Pro Wrestling Only, if you know him from that. And then, of course, Chris Zellner. And I'm going on this tirade to tell you that specifically I listened to this November, December episodes because I was like, dude, there are so many things I have no fucking clue. Let's just fucking rip that Band-Aid off. What the fuck happened to Sid? I had no idea. That's a really crazy fucking story. And then, where did Samu go? And where did Paul E go? I have answers for you folks.
Do you have answers for why the fuck the show lengths are so odd?
No. I don't. Because they never...
That's lost in the annals of time.
Well, it drives me nuts because it's hard because I understand it on one level. It's 36 years ago. So the people that did watch this live, they don't remember little shit like, hey, what game preempted this fucking episode as to why it's 38 minutes? Or, hey, why did we get the weird joined in progress TBS screen?
And it's just so weird because we're catching it on YouTube. So we see 47 minutes and we're like, maybe it was 47 minutes. Or maybe this person only got 47 minutes. And that's kind of one of the tough things too, is just with that inconsistency for us to go. I know there's at least one episode where I did not catch the full episode on the first watch. One of them was 47 and one of them was an hour 20. So yes. That's the other hard thing for us going through this, is trying to find the most complete episode.
Now I do know that they did also, on top of that, do weird hour editions or that was the norm for them. People, even on Peacock you have the Saturday edition for a reason on the screen because there was a Sunday show. It would go and out. They would kind of alternate. Not like this though.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, this cycle, the episodes are fairly nondescript. Even the 11-18 episode where they had the pre-tape of Steiners and Freebirds for the title, The rest of that episode, I got nothing. And the main match happened. It was a good match. With the Scott was taking a lot of damage. Rick was taking the Steiners took a lot of damage in that match. But end up winning it in the end. I think that's a good fresh start for our tag division.
Without a doubt, and also very vital because obviously they're building for this Future Shock thing. And here's the weird part. They just straight up don't even mention the fucking Freebirds and the ads, so you also know. It's very weird. And then that was one question I wanted answered. Like, what happened with this title change? Because it's so weird and fugazi. Here's what it is. They just fucking did it that way. Like, apparently they just fucking taped the shit. Nobody thought about it. They quite literally just didn't fucking think about it. Yeah. Because on the fucking center stage shit, they just don't mention that it's a thing. They just go, hey, that's how it was done sometimes. Well, that's dumb. I'm going to go out and say
especially with a Clash coming up.
And that's what they said.
They taped it before the Clash. The title win. Then they go to the Clash out of the title. Like, save it for the fucking your big show, not for some random ass match I'm watching 3 weeks from now. It's so strange.
The only consolation prize is, as I was watching Starrcade, I'm almost positive there are new belts. They're at least like a new, like, redo of the belts before, because they look real shiny and real stiff. And when those kids are holding them, I'm like, damn, all right, those do look brand new. So maybe that, because that was another thing that bothers me. I fucking hate when they did that, because sometimes because you're taping it so far ahead, the belt may not be there. So I hate when like a champion wins something. I know we're talking after Hangman. The whole gimmick of his shit was there's no belt, but still, when it's not an angle, I hate that, because I'm like, where's the belt? If I want a belt, give me it now, okay? Like if this is belt getting, I want one. So
I'm getting it. Have it made. Thanks.
Fuck yeah, dude. At least make a new one. Also,
or maybe in WCW, maybe they don't know what's happening though.
This is about the right time, because I do believe it might even be this episode. Whichever episode it is, the last time we see Pillman and Luger again. That was probably this one or the next one. He gets a real knee injury, unfortunately. So he is out actually the whole, at least entire rest of the year. So even if Starrcade wouldn't have been a double tournament fucking clusterfuck, he wouldn't have been on the show. So I don't know when he comes back, early 99 or 99. God, we went way far ahead. We're not ready for Macho Madness. Okay. We'll hit the brakes on that one. But either way, yes, Pillman gets hurt. And that's the story of Pillman in WCW, is just momentum, injury. Momentum, injury. It sucks, but there you go. Because I feel like he was I'll just say it. I think outside of Sting, Pillman's your rising star of everybody.
He feels like Sting from 2 years ago.
Yes, that's exactly
and Sting's just big brothering him, kind of the way that Dusty had big brothered Sting along.
Yeah, that's a great comparison. Man, it makes you wonder, because that State Patrol match, fun. I was like, oh shit, Sting and fucking Pillman as a tag team? It's like, oh, this is like Dusty and Magnum. You know, like, this is dope.
Yeah, no, I'm down for it, especially if you don't have anything going on for Sting on the singles side. But you see him and Luger kind of head into that eventual collision. So
absolutely, you mentioned Buzz.
Get well, Brian.
Yes. God, Buzz Sawyer. You talked about him. You went into 50 million interviews about Buzz Sawyer. I'll say this. He did the Big E fucking spear through the ropes in '89, folks, and it was terrifying.
Buzz Sawyer seems, and apparently was, a legit madman.
Yeah.
Does he remind you of any current star?
God, is anybody a literal sadist today? I don't know, but
for me, I look at him. It's Juice Robinson with a beard.
Yeah, for sure. The manic.
Not beardless Juice. I'm not sold on this yet. I'm not sold on this orange and not this peach. But I just kept getting Juice Robinson's like a less homicidal Buzz Sawyer,
Yeah.
But that's the vibe I got. But yes, Buzz Sawyer shows up. I don't know if I had experience with him before this. He was in WWE for a little bit. I don't think I was watching at that point. Um, yeah, he walks. He seems interesting. He seems like a crazy guy. He's like balding. He kind of looks like Kyle Gass a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, he just has like this thing where you're just like, I don't know. Like he kind of looks like my barber from when I was a kid. Like he's not threatening, but he looks scary as hell somehow at the same time. He shows up. In the 25th episode. He's talking about Terry Funk. He says, Terry Funk's a quitter. All Texans are quitters. Remember the Alamo? I do. You quit.
And by the way, nothing's ever been so correct. Fuck y'all, except for Kurt Jangle.
Listen, you come in and hit me with that promo. Boom! I'm kind of a fan immediately.
Yes.
Now, outside of this, he's an absolute scumbag. Ripped off Magnum TA and other wrestlers for training money, and then never trained them. Took advantage of people lower on the card than him. So overall, he's a scumbag. He dies in '92 from a drug overdose. Not making a judgment there, but just overall, one of those scummy people in wrestling that is just stuck to the bottom of a wrestling shoe for infinity.
Yep. And it's a shame because if you go back, obviously, it's also, he is very topical right now because of the big WWE Vault release of the Omni show from '83, where him and Roddy Piper had the dog collar match. And '83 Georgia's probably, sadly, his peak. You know, I can't think of anywhere else where he had those top storylines with the best guys, because, you know, in '83 he also had the fucking big angle with, you know, the greatest wrestler to ever live, Tommy Rich. And they had the fucking crazy cage match that was also unfucking whatever. What is it? Discovered again in the vault a few years ago?
They found it back in a corner somewhere under some files that Vince McMahon stashed away. You talked about Tommy Rich. And that was also one of the interviews I watched. It was, do you know about the puke match?
No, please regale us.
Okay, it was Dutch Mantel, so I can handle him for, it was like 6 minutes. I'm like, all right, I think I can do 6 minutes. But I put it on, and he's talking about this match. It's Tommy Rich versus Buzz Sawyer. They're both drunk, and they each puke in the corner during the match. If anybody knows the date of this match, has a link for us, whatever, just inform us of when the fuck that match happened, because that's a Tommy Rich match I will be excited to watch.
Well, lucky for you, I'm a psychopath, and when someone asks me to find something in regards to wrestling, I'll get that for you, buddy. If it exists, I'm quite serious. I have means now.
Did you have search top like you just put like puke in corner?
I probably could. That's how crazy.
See if you can, because that's going to be the fastest way to really narrow that down.
Yeah, we do need that, and in fact, that might be just a special edition for us. If I can if I can discover that and unveil that, you know, I don't know what platform we can put that on, but fucking OnlyFans.
I just went down this Buzz Sawyer interview hole, and I felt like 25 minutes. I watched like 7 interviews, and everybody's just like, he was an asshole, horrible person, horrible human being.
It is either the best thing or the worst thing if everyone has a story about you.
And the thing is, the people that you're like, oh, that guy's a fucking scumbag, they think he's an asshole.
Yeah.
They think Buzz is an asshole. So you're like, oh shit, he's like F tier somewhere down there. Okay, the 25th episode.
Yeah.
We get a debuting Lord Littlebrook, to my knowledge.
Oh my god, guys!
Teamed up with the New Zealand militia.
I'm gonna have to clip this and put this on Threads and shit, because you just have to see it to believe it. And it's even funnier when the New Zealand fucking militia is still the New Zealand militia and they're not the royal family yet. Holy shit. Also, very clear dig at Eddie Gilbert, who at the time is doing this bizarre little like holdout pattern situation right now. He's basically, I don't want to say he's feigning an injury, but from what I understand, he was doing the whole ow, and then he came back and ow somewhere else, and they were kind of like, all right, bud, we're WCW, so we'll send you some mail money, and he just kept talking shit in the sheets. So this is 100% them going, oh, the First Family, huh? Your fucking Mid-South little gimmick you created? Yeah, we're just going to use that with Lord Littlebrook. So it's
good times, good times. This episode also gives us a Doom match where JR says he's always been impressed with the pictorial development of Doom.
Oh, he's a titty meat man.
I have so many questions about JR, I swear.
There's a lot of questions.
There's a lot of questions. The Steiners, I think they're talking about the upcoming tournament. The Steiners said they've been in car crashes, so they good.
Oh, God. All right.
The Midnights, the Midnights are now heel because they attacked the dude who we all love. The Midnights come out to wrestle two jobbers. I think it's Jason Walker and Lee Scott would be my guess. Whoa. And Corny says the fans were holding the Midnights back. And I'm like, dude, nobody asked for you guys to be faces.
No.
You didn't do anything. You did nothing face-like. You just didn't hit people with tennis rackets. But actually, you still did. You still hit bad guys with tennis rackets. So, like, yeah. We never wanted you guys to be faces anyway. So that's really a you issue. But yeah, Corny's like, we're not facing these two goofs. And so I think they just take a common out loss or DQ loss or something on it, right?
Yeah, I think so. They just beat the shit out of them. I don't think they even.
Yeah, they beat shit out of them. Yeah, Jason Walker and Lee Scott defeat Midnights by count out at 10 seconds.
There you go, yeah.
And then they come back and just beat their asses. There's two Lex promos. I don't know who asked for that.
Jim Hurd. Had to have been.
Oh my God.
Else on planet Earth needs that.
For the love of H. And we have Flair Muta match.
Great.
Which we knew fuckery would involve. Hart interferes at the end. This does give me a bit of my WTF for this cycle. It is them previewing these tournament matches.
This is exactly
because they do it on the tag team side too. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, no, build your people up so we see them winning matches. Like, yeah, it just makes no sense.
Well, here's my main thing outside of even that. I mean, yeah, sure, keep those guys as strong as possible because they're going into your big pay-per-view. But more importantly, give the guys that you're going to go with after that show and everything's back to being fully opened up, give them some fucking momentum. So why are we doing Muta Sting when we could be doing like Flair and somebody else and have a heel ready there to go or something? I mean, let's just call it a spade here. Dan Spivey's just standing there. In theory, his dude's out, punctured lung. And by the way, it was a punctured lung from that fucking flip slam that Scott did. See, we all thought that he landed on his head. No, he landed directly into Sid's rib cage. And here's the thing that's really scary. He was in the airport and collapsed, nearly died because he didn't know he had a punctured lung and was flying. And for people that don't understand, that's really fucking dangerous. Like, he could have absolutely died really, really easily. Thank God he did not. And
as discussed last week, he's doing the Incredible Hulk. I mean, he's like 400. I mean, as JR would say, he's well over 300 pounds. And so when you're that big, I mean, your body's working harder. Gosh, that's scary as fuck.
We do have good news out of this, of course. He doesn't come back till, I believe, April of 90, which leads to the debut of Mean Mark. So we got him coming in soon. In fact, maybe right after this show. So
my head timeline is so bad. I swear to God. I'm just like, Mean Mark before Undertaker's later? Like, it's just in my head, like it's just the years like don't match up in my head. But that's just me, man. My head just don't match up.
I never knew the whole thing, and it's actually, how like 80s wrestling is it that literally Mean Mark's push, let alone Undertaker Mark Calloway's push, literally began from Sid fucking taking a shitty Scott Steiner proto, like when he was being Nova from 99, call back to my fuck up earlier, was due, like, wow, Sid was going to be the guy. It's always this story, isn't it? Like Sid was going to take over for Hogan in 92. Sid was going to come to WCW, be the savior. That, ended very badly for him and Arn. And then, all this shit, it's like, fuck, Undertaker, piece of shit nowadays, but gotta give him credit, man. He took opportunities and ran with them. And it's like, it's exciting to see with the new crop. It's like, see, this is the prototype for everyone. Like, just take it and run with it, because I really I'm excited and interested to see Spivey and Callis as a tag team, because I don't know if I've ever really seen much of them together.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, that just sounds like a fun, interesting tag team to see together. So, yeah, that would be pretty cool. The 25th Power Hour.
Yeah.
Couple things in here. They're getting across the point that it's a round robin tournament, or whatever. Everybody's facing everybody, and they're really sociopath. This means Sting and Flair will have to fight. This means the Steiners and the Road Warriors will have to fight. And I'm like, yeah, they would have to do that in any fucking tournament if they were matched up against each other. Nerds. Like, they just really try to do this over and over. And I'm like, guys, yeah, we get the fucking point of a tournament. Gordon Soley's segment that he does is so Andy Rooney.
Yes.
It's just funny. He gets up there and goes, it's old man giving an opinion.
That's it.
You want that? You want that nowadays? Just go online.
You want the most white bread take on something?
Yeah.
Here you go.
Gordon Soley bringing the heat.
You want the world according to a Marlboro pack? Here you go.
I'm not going to say Flying Brian's injury was a good thing, because I don't wish injury on anybody. But on this 25th Power Hour, he is teaming with Z-Man.
Yeah. Well, Jim, don't feel bad, bud, because they just put that on ice for you. Okay, so you got all the Z-Man Pillman fucking tags coming your way.
But that's simmer on the back burner, you're saying? Okay, cool, awesome. One thing during this 25th Power Hour that I got so excited for, since we see commercials. Okay, did any commercial hit you?
I actually had I went on the other playlist. I did not see a lot of commercials, but I love commercials. What was the commercial?
Christmas Vacation. Oh. It was a commercial for National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And so then all of a sudden I can kind of put that in my head of my timeline, because I saw that in the theater. But yeah, so every time these commercials are popping up now, I'm just getting yeah. Dude, I mean, the commercial kind of sucks, but it's not like a modern day commercial where you're like, oh, I'm interested. It's not a great commercial, but it still gets me excited for the movie. And then Flair versus Rotunda, and they have a pretty good match for a TV match.
Exactly. I mean, then that's Rotunda's whole fucking career is he's serviceable. Yeah, for the commercial, I got to go back and get those commercials, man, because I love a good, horrifyingly bad 80s, early 90s commercial. I mean, I grew up with the Bluebell homemade ice cream, the original of that, of just the meadow, that kind of shit, when they would just literally shoot to a meadow. And you're just like, nice, man. Somebody was smoking a good doobie in that control room, man. I'm
just excited for when we get the 1-800 dial ATT. I'm excited for those to pop up at some point. I don't know what years those happened, but somewhere in the early 90s.
For sure. Probably close. 90, 91, probably. I was a baby. I don't know, sir.
I was a baby. Okay, 12-2 Saturday night.
Yes.
Our first match on 12-2 Saturday night. Ranger Ross versus Pat Rose. This is why we appreciate two people on commentary. Yeah. JR goes on his usual shtick of President Reagan awarded accommodation for his heroics in Grenada.
Uh-huh.
Kevin Sullivan's response: before we invaded Grenada, I couldn't sleep at night. I was afraid those people were going to come over here with rocks and take over.
Kevin Sullivan's the greatest.
He's like, yeah. Thanks for saving us from Grenada, Ranger Ross. He doesn't care. You could save a old lady from a burning building, and Kevin Sullivan would get on you for some reason.
She was a racist. He would just throw something out there.
I saw her one time do this. Norman has his key and a teddy bear now. And again, this is where JR he's so Republican.
Yeah.
He's so conservative because here's how I can tell the difference. Before, when Norman came out, he was a lunatic, a maniac, a homicidal vigilante who can't be allowed near anybody. But now he's childlike.
Yeah.
And, he's misunderstood. And it's like, JR, you fucking jump on the side of nothing changes, but you just jump. Just because he's not Teddy Long doesn't mean he's not the maniac anymore. Now he's fucking childlike. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Of course. That fucking black and white, just 80s moral right.
Until I know about the situation, then my mind changes. That's how it goes.
Let's just say that's why the visits to back home are very infrequent for me, because you get so tired of that fucking way of thinking.
And I wrote on anything else from that episode.
You know what I have? This is what I have, and I will read it verbatim. I hate Flair's new hair. It's like a mullet met feathered 70s shit, and it's disgusting to me. It's sadly better than what we end up with in 90 with that gross-ass ponytail look. Leave that shit to early 89 Wyndham. That was my notes.
Man, she watched for an hour and 20, and he's got Rick's hair. Nice.
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah.
No, these are kind of rough, man. Like the episodes there's not a lot going on, and like we'll get like one maybe decent match a week.
Yeah, it is what it is. Here's what I did say though too. Actually, I do have some notes. Fully into evil Luger with the Roman Gladiator robe. I hate to admit this, but fuck, he was just so deliciously douchey in this run. I also love the U.S. title belt design, even as someone that only knew the second generation WCW one. And I loved, as a kid, not knowing fuck all, I loved the WCW United States Championship design. I still do. I think it's neat. But if we're really going to go one or the other, it's 80s NWA US title belt. Just so cool. It literally looks like what Captain America would wear as his belt. That's why I love it, to be honest. There's flags fucking all over the motherfucker. You're like, wow, this is the U.S. title.
Puking up patriotism.
Then I also have this. I can't believe you didn't write this down. Sting and Luger fight each other on this show, finally. First time, I believe, really ever outside of a couple, fuckery deals at the end of the Clash or something. Sting's quickly beginning to shape into the true top guy of the promotion, so it really does make sense why Flair was adamant about dropping it to him in February and then in July because the knee injury, fucked everything up. I also said the promo he cuts here, too, it really cements why he's next in line. Much more concise, intense, yet also feels like it's genuine in a way that previously wasn't always the case with him. I think that's really what I'm starting to see is like before, Sting was happy to be there. He wasn't really, like, even going into Clash, even after the Clash for a little bit in 88, he's just, he's just happy to be a wrestler, man. He's living that fun, like, young guy life, I think. And now it's finally hit him, I think. Like, oh, dude, I gotta be the top guy.
I think he kind of had like that altered Ultimate Warrior energy, where it's kind of like this manic, I'm crazy, I'm wild, I'm young, I'm free, I'm hip. And it was like with the Pillman promo we were talking about from last week. And it's like, I don't remember what I'm trying to say. It's like, no, bro, like, slow it down like 35%. And just focus what you're trying to say. Don't just woo your way through it like Ric Flair does and bottom line it.
Right.
Like, have a path and follow it.
I loved his job match he has with Dan Devine, who is the founder of OVW, Danny Davis. So interesting to see that. Yep. He is fucking tremendous here. He just gets murdered. He has a dog butt scoot spot where he takes a Manhattan drop from Sting, literally leaps out of the ring off it, and he's ass on the floor, like he literally scoots. What would be the way for me to describe it? He literally
it's the dog's butt rub on the carpet.
But it's like a skidding. It's like if a dog's butt rub was going across a creek as like a rock. That is the only way to describe this to you folks.
It might have been pre-marketing for Christmas Vacation with the sledding, with the non-nuclear varnish on the bottom. It might have been like branding that we just weren't aware of.
You know what? Danny Davis was a good enough ass Memphis worker. He very well could have thought about that. Because, that ad would have been playing everywhere, as you just mentioned. So, then I said the royal family is some wild, carny shit, buddy. You just got to see it to believe it.
And, like, it's kind of weird, right? Because it's just like...
Ugh.
What am I getting from this New Zealand militia time?
Yeah.
It's
What
a
is
tag
this?
team. I mean, I guess maybe it's kind of building up to like that B-level tag team that can lose to the A-level tag team, but it's just like,
Mhm.
it's a lot of New Zealand militia on my screen.
And I
That'll
mean,
be a
hey,
comment, yeah. A little too much. A little too much Lord. No, a little too much Lord Middlebrook. I'll say it
there you
that way.
go.
How about
There you
that?
go. And even Rip Morgan. I did say Dude's Midnights was good enough. That's it. And then, and I can't believe you haven't mentioned this man. And this is all I wrote is his name. Rock Hard Rick.
Rock Hart's our boy. He's been
He's
around, man.
great.
He's and again, cage matches like we don't know who he is.
Yeah.
If anybody knows who this man is, please let us know. We'll tag him as appropriate.
This is good. And then, hey, 12-9, man. This is when the shit happens. This is odd because I think about another example of taping this shit in the order that the shit airs. Would this not have been better after Starrcade? Why are we doing this big angle that will have zero payoff in your biggest show of the year? It feels so out of place.
Yeah.
I mean, that clash in January to me would be like a way bigger deal because we'll get to that as we do. I like what we do where when we're done with an episode, we'll do a little preview. That's been great. So we'll do that at the end of this thing. But it's great. Ric Flair's like, I got a surprise for you, Gary Hart. Gary Hart, of course, because, this is actually logical booking, was like, well, I'm a fucking heel, so I got a surprise for you. And it's all his boys circling the ring. And they come in to whoop some ass, but this time Flair does have reinforcements, and it's the fucking Andersons. Arn Anderson. Big return to the NWA, WCW, and Ole too, which is like crazy because he was all retired. He was done. Was that 87 when they bring Luger in? That was the deal. So
That's how I wrote down. Like, didn't Ole leave previously because he's old?
I do know that he ends up taking the book like right after this. So maybe that's the thing. They're like, hey, can you be on screen just like as the mouthpiece of the Horseman, please?
Also, it's the Andersons. They might be 33. I don't fucking know.
Ole's old, but
Ole's
Arn
old.
is not here, by the way. He's probably like, 30 something.
So does Tully stay behind in WWF?
Ah, you don't know the story. So here we go.
I don't remember.
Yeah, so the deal was they come in. It was going to be Arn and Tully. Another run. Here we go. 4 Horsemen. Would have popped the fucking territory. Probably would have. Except Vince is Vince. And he goes, that's fine. Okay. Well, on the way out, we're just going to drug test you. And old Tully Blanchard failed that drug test for cocaine. And that wouldn't be such a big deal. Except Jim Herd is a fucking asshole. And once Jim Herd found this out, and there's a lot of contention on who told him. Who knows? A lot of people at this time thought JR was a stooge for him. I'm not saying he did anything because I love JR. I truly do. But fuckery was afoot here. And someone gave him the Iggy, and Jim Herd, talk about conservative 80s. This is right at the fucking the very beginning of Dare. Gets this high horse about, I'm not bringing a drug addict into my company. So he refused. And the worst part is this. He had already told Arn he was going to make like 200 grand. Some big fucking deal, right? Well, Jim said, well, I mean, you're only half worth my time now. So he cut Arn's contract before he ever even came in. But like in half. So this is also the beginning of Flair really being like, fuck Jim Herd. So this is a domino effect. In a weird way, this fucking angle is kind of the end of this momentum from 89. Because as great as it is that Arn's back and he has phenomenal matches, this is the power struggle between Flair and Herd really amping up big. Before this, it was kind of like, I don't like you, but we can coexist. Now, Flair is fucking like, fuck you, man. And he is on a warpath. And then, of course...
It feels like a WCW. It's like... This feels like they never can let the future just take over.
I know.
Because, come around January, they're going to put the TV title on Arn?
Yeah.
Haven't we seen that for a decade? I don't know. It just... Give us the new young blood and And that could have helped them, I think, into this next thing. Not go, Four Horsemen is cool, but I don't need Ole back in my life, Jesus Christ.
Well, you made my argument for me, because that is my whole argument about the end of Starrcade, buddy, is yeah. So, yeah, this is a good angle. You know, it's great.
Yeah, good Flair segment out there. Kendall Windham returns versus Dick Ryder. He just shows up out of nowhere, him and his 160-pound ass.
I got excited because I thought it was Barry, because he's dressed like Barry as the Widowmaker, which I know is absolutely on purpose. And so I was like, yeah. And then I went, fuck, it's Kendall. Ugh.
It is. It's like Captain America before the formula.
Yeah, exactly.
In this episode, we also get Doom versus the Italian Stallion and the Pro. Do you know who the Pro is?
Who's the Pro?
Mike Awesome.
Whoa, I love a Mike Awesome fact.
Do you want to guess how much he weighs?
250 million pounds.
Over 280.
Wow.
Damn right. That's how everybody weighs. Over 280.
Over 280. I definitely weigh over 280, by the way.
And there's a Road Warriors interview, and Hawk tells us they do not have medical insurance. and that seems like an issue to me.
And that also seems like a shoot. But I also love that we're doing ringside interviews with JR. This is cool. This is almost like, you know, we're like walking into the era of the in-ring promo, right? Like with Gene and Nitro. So it's cool to see, like, you know, the business is evolving a little bit. I know that's an old practice, actually. Like Vince was doing that in the 70s in WWF, but still, it's really neat. Another factoid, and this has nothing to do with this show, but I thought this was a fun little deal. Do you know the first wrestling show to ever air on a Turner network?
No.
It was 1970, and it was the WWWF out of Philadelphia.
Oh.
I thought that was fucking eerie. I was like, ooh, that hits you kind of weird. That is like fucking, the old man was like, son. I imagine he sounded like Vince. God, I hope not. You know, fucking take over the business, even though he was not for that at all. But I am digressing.
Take over the business and drop one of the W's, damn it.
I'm talking about shit that's not important to the history of this business. Let's get to the most important angle in the history of wrestling. Teddy Long hiring Cuban Assassin to get rid of Norman for $350 mostly American dollars.
Oh my God, Teddy is so Stokely. Like,
yes.
I can see Stokely saying, I offer you $350 in mostly American money and 5 Egg McMuffin coupons.
Mostly. Oh.
Mostly American money. Yes, that was wonderful, beautiful. And in his country, $350 mostly American dollars is lots of money.
And let's just be clear. He says this in a very American accent. Like, he is clearly not from Cuba. Like,
yeah, not even. Like watch Scarface for 20 minutes. Even just give me Pacino's bad Cuban accent, and I'll accept it like Razor Ramon. But I don't know what the fuck he's throwing on. Dude sounds like he's from Cleveland trying something.
So that was funny. Let's get to something that was not funny, and that's the main event of this show. It's Tommy Young, Captain Mike, and I don't know if you even noticed this. The ref bump from Tommy Young being thrown by Tommy Rich. This is the last we ever see of old Tommy Young. He has a freak injury.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the power went out, as you see on the video, and his story is basically it was a lot darker in there than it looked. He's like, it doesn't really look as dark as it really was in there at one point. So when he gets shoved, his kind of depth perception's really off. So he goes in a weird way and he hits the bottom rope, and it's right on his head, and he just snaps his neck, and he lays there motionless. At the very end of the match, you will see a clump of refs. They're trying to figure out a way to get him out of the ring without doing damage, because he is basically, I don't know if he's like paralyzed, but he is not moving. And this is the last match Tommy Young refereed in the NWA. I think he does maybe on the Indies for like a reunion. He does like a little thing.
Oh, like wait a minute. Oh.
Yeah.
Was there? Damn it! I'm trying to figure out. I really thought it was on the pay-per-view, but what you just said reminds me of something else. I remembered a match.
Mm-hmm.
No, the match felt more like it was scripted that way. I feel like it was from the tournament where, the two wrestlers are going at it. The referee gets knocked down in the corner. Two referees come out, and it's kind of like the two referees ignore the match behind them, and some chicanery happens for a victory. I don't remember which match it was.
I know what you're talking
about.
And
I'm like, okay, but that was at Starrcade?
Yes, that was at Starrcade, and it was probably
perfect.
in result to this to make the fans not think they just saw something horrific, would be my assumption.
Okay. Because that was, I will comment on that one later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we get Rotunda versus Wildfire. Kevin Sullivan drops a little nugget that feels like a little read between the lines. He said the Varsity Club broke up because the NWA couldn't handle it anymore. Yeah. And JR says something along the lines of, "You got that right," or something like that.
Yeah.
Because right around here is where I was feeling sorry for Mike Rotunda.
Yeah.
Because he lost all of his friends. Like Kevin doesn't hang out with them. Danny doesn't write anymore. Dr. Death's over Japan throwing people around. Rick Steiner's on the other side of the aisle now. And Mike Rotunda just comes out every week alone by himself. And I feel so bad about it. He deserves better.
He does deserve better. Let's get that.
And Kendall shows up during this match, too. Oh. He just shows up at ringside for this match. One thing I do want to talk about before we actually get into the Starrcade proper.
Yeah.
I want you to look at this locker room real fast, because I'm sure I'm even missing somebody. Okay, in this current locker room, we have the motorcycle bandit, Ranger Ross.
Yeah.
We have future counterfeiter or past counterfeiter, Kendall Windham.
Yep.
We have future state's witness, Johnny Ace.
Yeah.
Who else do we have in this locker room who has had some time for major criminal activities?
Let's think here. That's a good question.
That's all I got, but I know I'm missing somebody.
Well, Luger. I mean, there's a lot of implications with Luger because of Miss Elizabeth.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. No conviction. Wait, no conviction.
He was
we'll take no conviction. Was he?
He got out. He got out on bail.
Johnny Ace also might not get any convictions because they're white dude, but whatever.
Because he turned over. But let's be clear. Because Johnny Ace turned over. All right, it's not because he's fucking innocent. Fuck that guy.
He turned snitch out.
I'm trying to think. Buzz Sawyer.
It never maybe convicted, but just dies at some point. But just one for us to think next week if anybody else pops up on your radar of has served time in the pokey. I guess that's what we're kind of looking for here. But yeah, this is a hell of a locker room we're developing so far. And every time Johnny Ace gets around those kids, I'm like, get the fuck away from those kids, Johnny Ace.
I'm like, Johnny, nope. Get out of here, dude. Get away from Mrs. Baba.
And this was the match here or the show here where watching Buzz, I got the Juice vibes. Like even just watching him in the ring, he's kind of like this wild man.
Oh yeah.
He's like Juice's dad or something with bad hair, but with worse hair.
So here we are, folks. Starrcade 89, Future Shock, Atlanta, Georgia, the Omni. And right away, this motherfucker's pretty empty. They don't even bother. Nowadays, they move people around. You never see like that many major, huge wrestling pay-per-views where you can see whole sections empty. You do here, and it doesn't get better. And to me, I'm like, this is simple shit. Why wouldn't you just move people around? But then again, it is so empty here, and I looked it up. Approximately, so we don't even know if it's this good. Around 6,000 people in the Omni. That's terrible. That's like maybe a third full. Horrible.
Yeah, I mean.
And this is their bread and butter. You got to remember, too, the Omni was the big monthly house show every single month for years, going back to fucking the 70s. So they have burnt their own territory here with just the stupid fucking shit that they did in 89 and just jumping around bookers. I think we should have had the committee from day one. Either way, here we are. I love the idea of Terry Funk and Jim Cornette going in and out on color from the singles to tag matches. Perfect move because they're both great in what they do in different ways. What do you think about the point system here?
You know what? I am a person who enjoys when risks are taken. And it's one of the reasons I like sketch comedy is because sometimes shit hits, sometimes it misses, and that's kind of the fun of it.
Yeah.
I appreciate what they tried to do here. Especially, I think you lost Pillman too, and again, do we really want to see the New Zealand militia versus dudes, or do I want to see Road Warriors versus Samoan SWAT team? I don't know. Actually, I don't want to see those guys again. I've seen that enough.
Yeah,
and I think that's just kind of the part here where it's just we've had just too much interaction with these people already. Seeing what the cage match community have rated this, like going in my head, I'm like, it can't be that bad, and I don't think it's that bad, but it's also not that interesting.
No,
and the point system is weird, especially like with the time limits, and and the point system kind of fucks you up because then you can't space out the matches where you get like the Samoan SWAT team and Road Warriors and Steiners and other team Doom, like in the first two tag matches, because they have to do it dramatically for the points to add up at the end to the system, and that's where it got weird. Because I'm like, haven't I seen Doom like 5 times already? Like it just felt like, some of those matches just felt very. I've seen these guys enough already. Give me them like 30 minutes later in the show. And also, the thing with the tournament too is you also know, and I didn't count, but at least half them are gonna be fucked finishes. And so, what does that matter in the end, anyways, right?
Exactly. I think this is what I finally realized. I was like, oh, this was what it was supposed to be. But I don't think that they got there. I think the idea was we're going to do these different matches and we're going to set like a tier system for the fans of like, all right, this is our top. These are the next guys, yada, yada. And that's great in theory. But what ends up happening is what we'll get to, because I don't want to spoil it, because there's dramatic effect from me as we go through these, specifically for a certain tag team and a certain single where they have just get completely fucked in this thing. And also, I don't know if you noticed, the Samoans are not SST. They are Samoan Savage and Fatu, because Samu just sort of, we don't know. Literally.
It feels like he was up in age. So do we know if he ever comes back to wrestling? No, I thought he started like late 70s.
No, Samu is just Samu from the Head Shrinkers, whatever. So I don't, like I said,
he's older.
He's like 26 here. So
okay.
Legal issue, I don't know. That's what everyone assumes, but no one knows. No one literally knows. He just comes back the next year. He's a single for a second, and then they finally put them back, and then it's not long. They're WWF bound within like a year or something. So that is a thing. And I will say this, though, going into this and seeing that and realizing that, I was like, fuck, we're getting the new Wild Samoans. That's what they call this new team. So at least they don't try to pass it off as SST. I will say I was very impressed for a makeshift tag team, how they performed in this thing. And it kind of just goes to what everyone always says. I'm pretty sure every Samoan in the business is just great.
Yeah. Well, they are savage warlike people.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God, what
I guess one of the issues is with them taping these shows so far in advance, we don't know that the skyscrapers aren't in this until we arrive at the show.
I know. They have to make an announcement during Doom Steiners is the opener. They're like, by the way, you're wondering why the skyscrapers aren't here. Yeah, JR, why was there not? It's just bizarre. That's one thing maybe modern wrestling, they get in front of shit. For instance, I watched a Prestige wrestling show on YouTube the other day. Great. I highly recommend. They're great. Well, B. Priestley was supposed to be on the show. Travel issue. They literally, before the show even happened, they got on social media. Like 2 different times on the show, they were like, hey, she's not going to be here. Refunds will be available. Whatever. In the chat, they were like really bummed out B, and I was like, man, they are like covering all the bases. Back then, they're like, we got your money, Mark. Fuck you. We'll figure it out.
WCW did that a couple months ago. Remember that when they knew Funk wouldn't be in the final match, and
oh my God,
who replaced him? Dick Slater showed up for the tag team match, I think, with Muda, and they knew the whole show Terry Funk wasn't going to be in it, and didn't fucking say anything. Like they're just
Terry Funk clone number 2.
Who they are.
Yes.
Steiner's win the first match by countout.
Yeah.
Nitron
Yes.
is now accompanying woman to the ring. And I couldn't figure out what the guy's name was even, so I had to Google to see who's accompanying him to the ring. Okay, his name's Nitron. He's 7 feet, well over 400 pounds, I think. He is Tyler Mane, who plays Sabretooth in the original X-Men movies and was also in Deadpool Wolverine last year. And he's also the Mike Myers from the Rob Zombie Halloweens, which I'm actually a fan of because I just like different universes of stuff. I'm cool with a different universe of Halloween movies. So, and I want to get into the whole thing. If you realize that in the beginning that like after number 2, like nothing else is canon anyways, you'll realize they're all in a separate universe. But that's neither here nor there, and that's a different thought for us.
Exactly. So
did I ever tell you that's my favorite? That was my favorite. I figured out a movie before everybody else was the new Halloweens that came out. The ones after the first new Halloween movie, I said he's not chasing Laurie. This is just her trauma from one night of a man changing her life, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he is not following her. And I remember I went in line, somebody's like, "Hey, you're fucking wrong." And then it's like you're seeing the next 2 movies, like, nope. He just kind of the doctor led him to the spots. Everybody had an experience with Mike Myers that night, like they escaped death, and you're not the only one, honey. Is kind of what the point was. But I was very proud when in the second movie they revealed that my theory was correct the whole time. I'm like QAnon, but with movies.
Yeah, dude.
And less pedophilia, you know.
less fucking false accusation. Yeah, dude. And also, my favorite book's probably Catcher in the Rye. You know what I mean? So like I love a nice fuck finish there where you're like, wait, what? He's nuts? This whole thing just made all this world up? What?
But I related to him.
Yeah. And then the other one is, I like a good book where at the end of it you go, am I fucked up? Yeah.
And you go, yes, I am. Thank you.
Then you grab another Paul Tremblay book. Anyway, this, yeah. And here's the fucking problem. This is the beginning. Spoiler, Doom never wins. They never win a match in this motherfucker.
Yeah, it's...
So why
and that's the weird thing. They just beat Steiner's like 2 events ago, yes. Right? They showed up. We were like, oh my god, they found a kind of a new team. Like, and they get here and now like a makeshift tag team. They're like, fuck yeah,
fuck you.
We cool.
Who cares? You don't even have names.
We can't tell you apart. How can we possibly tell the Samoans apart or the Doom apart? Wait till we get to that match.
Ron Simmons cut a promo literally the last show, which was a whole other conversation because it wasn't a good one. But yeah, so that leads us to the first singles match and another like what the fuck WCW move here. Your whole television for a month has been building to Sting Luger. We're going to get Sting Luger. And it's the first singles match on your show, and it's just whatever. Oh, well. And then the finish is just Lex tries to fuck him and gets the pin, holding the rope.
That
they
was the worst. I've said it before. Like, kayfabe, WCW referees are the worst.
Yeah.
How... Sting was bouncing around on the mat. How the fuck did his shoulders get pinned? Like, I think his shoulders up at like 1.5. Like he's having a convulsion on the ground, and the referee's still counting the pin like super fast with Lex's leg on the top rope, his hand on the bottom rope. He's playing Twister, vertically, yeah. and the referee's like his referee's feet are on the floor as he's counting. Like, dude, like the fucking rope's right there. I don't know. Their referees always look absolutely idiotic.
Let me just say,
if they can make the referee look stupid to save a wrestler from getting pinned cleanly, they will do it every time and twice on Sunday.
And due to that, just I want to let you know, because of that level of just stupidity, the visual is like, oh, Lex Luger won by cock push-up on Sting. So I'm not hating it. In fact, it was almost kind of great. It was like, wow, of course, Lex Luger's such a narcissist that he wins a match with a cock push-up. That actually tracks. But it didn't do what it needed to do because I didn't get out of this like, Luger, what a fucking asshole. I just got, that sucked.
I got your referee sucks.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Like,
what I mean. This whole thing is awful. But speaking of things that are not awful, and you brought attention to it, I need to know everything about the scorecard woman, just her life. I need to know everything. What are her
okay,
views?
I did find her. I found her name is Darlene Richmond. I found her on X. I messaged her. I did a Google back search. I put in a picture. I aged it with AI. Found her on X. Messaged her. I said, Darlene, were you the scoreboard girl at Starrcade '89? And she let me know she is still, because of her NDA and her interactions with a certain Space Mountain rider.
Mm-hmm.
She's not able to discuss any matters on that evening for at least another 10 years. So if we want to touch back on this in like 10 years, yeah. Darlene Richmond is open to discussing the situation with us.
Nice. So we'll put it on your calendar, 2035. We will, because we need a 10th anniversary of this episode because this is such a fucking.
She'll be 72, but I think she's going to have a pretty sharp memory.
But here's the deal. Does an NDA from a guy that shits himself in bars really that valid? Or can we just go ahead and go, this fucker's insane? And
I figured the organization doesn't exist anymore. You can violate it, but Darlene told me, please stop messaging me. So I just stopped at that point. It felt like the right thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, you got to kind of cover your bases there. And
the woman's been through enough.
Yeah. And there we go. And hey, Doom, they should have had an NDA. Let's talk about NDAs here. They absolutely should have had an NDA after this night as well, because they just limp out to get beat up by the Road Warriors.
Yeah, but I guess we can go, okay, they just fought in the first match, and we're putting them in the second match because we're assholes like that. Hawk Dustkiss hit a killer clothesline in this match. That clothesline at the end looked fucking brutal. It was great.
Destroys his fucking whole soul here. Fucking Ron
Simmons. It was a pin. Like you're like, that's a pin. Like for a flying close, that's as much of a pin as a flying clothesline can be, and it was.
Yeah. Here's my other one though. Like, you haven't done fuck all shit with the Road Warriors in how long, and now they're just killing everyone on one night. Hey, it's just one night, but they're the best. It's like, all right, cool. Next match ruled, but it was like fucking way too short. It felt like it was 7 minutes. Great Muta, Ric Flair. This was going to be awesome.
How long did it feel?
Like 6 minutes.
On cage match, it says 55.
What?
That's what it says.
You know what it is? It's because there was so much fuckery going on in the outside. That felt like forever. That's what it is.
How did it even end? I just wrote down fuck finish. I don't even remember what the fuck happened in this one.
It wasn't really a fuck finish. It was just Muta hits the backbreaker, goes for moonsault, double knees from Flair, small package. It was actually a sweet finish.
No, okay, it had to be over. It had to be over 55.
Yes,
because I mean, I'm thinking about all that now. Like, it had to be longer. It has to be wrong. I remember now. And that was the knees up, and then he rolled them into the small package.
And I hate to bring it up. I know this is already like a really sore subject, and we just talked about it. I need to know scorecard girls' views on postmodern politics. Like, did she vote for Bush Sr.? Was she like the chic, I don't vote, fuck the man chick? I need to know this stuff. So, darling, if you maybe just like get with Rick and be like, listen, again, you shit yourself everywhere you go. Everyone hates you. I don't think my conversation about literally just, hey, how did Jim Herd give you this job? I mean, I don't know. Maybe
Darlene, we only want to ask about the scoreboard. We want to know nothing about what occurred in the locker room at the event.
Yeah, I don't care about that. In fact, I really never want to know.
No. We feel your pain, and we hear you, and we understand you.
I think this is the tag match of the whole fucking night. It's Steiner's Road Warriors. And another one. It's like, this should have been built. This should have been like the last fucking match. You know what I mean? Like, could we switch the Samoans thing with this one? You know, like the whole thing later on with the Samoans and the Road Warriors. Why don't we just do it here with... All right. So It's cool. I did say this though. It was really more of like an exhibition match rather than like a psychology based, let's get heat, care about this thing. It was very like video game to me. It's like we're just going to do all our shit. We're going to just fucking go through the Rolodex of moves here. There's a really cool like modified Doomsday for the finish. And it's WCW though, so they got to do this bullshit double fucking pin at the last second. Scott like fucking punches the air up, but the Steiners get 20. Yeah, Steiners get 20 on fucking the Road Warriors. That's big news for '89. They're a brand new tag team, despite being the new champs.
And they had to fight each other as they pre-warned us, and they're still friends after. Aww,
that's cute. Nothing is cute about Muta and Sting next. This was great. This was probably the match of the night outside of the main event for me. This was great shit. They go through their, greatest hits of Muta versus Sting. Love it. There is the first ever, to my knowledge, cattle mutilation in this match by Muta. And I am like, whoa. That is how ahead of the fucking game he is. It was fucking amazing.
Just in time to leave next month or whatever.
Oh, well, of course. It's time to go back to fucking Japan and be a top guy, because clearly in WCW you will never be, because what happens? Sting hits a superplex and just beats Muta.
I was actually excited to see a superplex win a damn match.
It was cool.
I'm like, that shit hurts.
I almost like feel like I'm getting trolled in like, you know what I feel like? I feel like this is the Doctor Who episode where they're watching the fucking tape and the doctor's like, hey, I'm like fucking with time through this tape. That's what I felt like watching this, because it was almost like the gods of WCW going, Barry Windham's coming back soon. You excited? And I am excited, because a lot of people right now suck. And we need a good, fucking solid upper mid card main event babyface. So there you go.
They really do, especially if Brian's out.
Exactly. And I do believe they end up tag teams. Wild Samoans, Doom. Talk about the loser board here. Samoans haven't even wrestled yet. Doom is literally limping through this motherfucker. This was okay.
Doom fought 3 of the first 4 matches, right? I mean, they're done at this point now. It's just funny right now. Make them do all the work.
I said Skyscraper's out because of an injury, and then this team of the Samoans is a makeshift team because some fucking Samu just whatever. I said, nice work, WCW. By the way, the Midnights were sitting right there. Free, ready to go. Just had a big angle. What is that? Also, yeah.
I did like, though, I liked Cornette saying, I'm not putting my guys in this tournament.
Yes.
Let them all fucking fight it out, and we'll go against the winner. So I liked him being able to provide that rationale of why the Midnights were in it. It's because we didn't want to be. You scrubs all wrestle and figure out who fights us next.
Of course, it's Doom. So what happens? Kahuna fucks around from the outside. Samoan Savage gets a fucking pin. Doom, yet again, with 0 goddamn points. So nice.
The pin was like, it was one of those ones where he touches the leg, and Doom 1 falls down and is now paralyzed for life because he was touched on the leg, and the Samoan is laying on top of him. And you're just like, how?
Fucking
that really pinned him. That really pinned him? Really? Are we sure about that? This match is very strong with some good old-fashioned American racism.
Yes.
Talking about their hard heads. This will not be a scientific match, as opposed to, like Road Warriors versus Skyscrapers would be a scientific masterpiece. But yeah, it was kind of all there. But I have to make sure it's the later match. Yeah, it's the later match where the Samoans watching is back, and instead of Samoans are back, and I have a comment on that match as well.
Of course.
For the racism.
We get Luger and Flair. First time literally in a year. Last time these guys met, at least on television, was last Starrcade. And this was fun for a completely different reason than the match itself, because it is kind of wild to look back on this, and it's a Luger-Flair match where Luger's the heel, Flair's the babyface. And you're like, how is this going to work? At the end of the day, it's just Flair and Luger. Like, at the end of the day, Flair, this is, I think, the beginning in wrestling, and it's not even a bad thing. I think Flair looked at this like a lot of modern guys did already, where he goes, I'm fucking Flair. I'm not a babyface. I'm not a heel. My promos dictate that, so I'm going to wrestle like Ric Flair. And he does. Later, he definitely leans more heel with Sting for good reason, because they're trying to fucking put a rocket on that guy. And it's also funny because you can tell, like, he is not like, Luger's the guy. You know, everyone in the back saying that. And Flair, even in this match, is like, I'll make him look good, but we're going draw. And so this is good. And then it just fucking ends.
Yeah, there's a few things in this match. And with I think it was Funk who said it. He said, Ric Flair knows exactly how long it takes to apply the figure four and how long it takes for somebody to tap out. And I'm like, no, he doesn't know that, first of all.
No.
And second of all, at the end of the match, there are like 30 seconds left, 30 seconds. And Ric Flair is like holding up a leg and still kicking it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bitch, put on a figure four. Like, why are you kicking at his crotch another 5 times when you hear 30 seconds left in this match? Like, he's just acting like he has all the time in the world to complete the task at hand. And again, I know he's the smartest player in the game, but that was kind of fucking dumb.
It was really fucking dumb. And it's funny, too. I wrote on here that when he does get that figure four on, Luger is like panicking like Moxley did at All In. He literally is acting like he's being murdered here, which is honestly pretty great for him because he is that douche heel. But like, oh my God.
Well, and that's just a thing. Lex was also carrying damage throughout the show. Like, he kept showing his leg damage because I think it was Muta fucked him up early. And somebody fucked him up. I think Sting fucked him up a little bit, and then he was carrying it in the Muta match. He carried it in the Flair match. So he did a good job of, like, he's the boss in a video game, and his shield's been taken down to 25% entering the match, kind of. So that was a nice thing to see from Lex, to be able to kind of carry that damage going forward and keeping it in mind, where for sometimes, especially in a tournament like this, you kind of forget by the end. You're like, no, I'm totally fine. Kind of like after the Flair, Funk, I quit matches and all that. They're just back next week. Like, we cool.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Show me some damage, man. Show me something took effect on you.
Yeah, make me feel something, man. Wild Samoans, Steiner's next, your favorite, because you said you have all the feels about how very inclusive this match is.
Actually, it's the last match where I have one where I'm like, whoa. Here one is the Samoans are a warlike people, which I then had to Google to find out. But apparently it seems like it's kind of like Hawaii, where all the islands are kind of, they're trying to get a king. But it's not like they're in Samoa trying to attack, Madagascar or something like that.
No.
And then we get another one of those dumb face DQs.
It's fucking stupid. Rick does knock a braid out of Fatu's head with a Steiner line, which was awesome, actually. And then he acts like he's wearing it, which that's maybe not great. But this was really good. Scott hits a really gross looking Frankensteiner on Fatu too, where I was convinced he landed directly on top of his head, but he's fine somehow. Yeah, this was really good. This was like, oh, I could use another one of these down the line on TV, maybe next Clash.
The Steiners are the originators of somebody's going on their head.
Oh, yeah. Somebody's.
I don't know which one of us is going to be, but one of us is hitting her head on the ground.
Get ready, because they are very racist here about us.
We also don't know who it's going to be, so it's always exciting.
Yeah. The fucking thing is, we don't even know what we're going to do. And they didn't know what they were doing with Muta versus Luger. This was just weird. It's like, why is this on my TV? Like, they're both heel. Muta is leagues better than Luger. He just literally beats the fuck out of his knee. That's all this really is. And it's fucking terrible. And it, of course, gives us the meme of Luger selling the shit out of the mist like he was shot with a cannon for the DQ for Luger. So that's all it is. Muta, 0. So he's like Doom. He cannot beat anyone in the company. I wonder why he fucking left.
Well, first, he couldn't lose to anybody in the company.
Yeah.
He was undefeated for a year.
Yeah.
Then he was unpinned because he'd only lost by disqualification.
Whoa.
And now motherfucker can't pick up a win to save his life.
Fuck him.
He's now the Muda. Yeah, but Luger, I mean, he couldn't do the human torture rack. His leg was injured. So, like I said, kind of like Luger taking that damage forward. But why have Muda in here if we're just going to do this? I understand he's gone next month. Fuck you, bye. Yeah. But I don't know. It feels very weird that Doom and Muda getting zeros across the board. Wondering why, but I'm just saying. Not saying, I'm just saying.
I understand, because we'll get into it, with the Samoans next and Road Warriors, where you did have to have the final two matches be like at least a playoff scenario. Like here, Road Warriors win pinfall DQ, they win the whole thing. Samoans have a chance, but they're kind of out of it anyway.
The Samoans win it with a win. If they win,
yeah, there you go.
They're the winners. The Road Warriors need a pinfall or submission.
Yes.
So they did do, like I said, they backward engineered it. So when we got here, we'd have these complex scenarios of what does it all mean. If they get a count out, then it's not enough points for them to win a tournament. So that was fun that they can kind of build it up to here and give us something to go for. But yeah, I wrote that. Yeah, Road Warriors need the pinfall or submission to win. If there's a tie, it's a wrestle off.
Oh, right. I did like that from Cornette. If there's a tie, there's a wrestle off.
It's a wrestle off.
God, I kind of wanted the wrestle off.
I was fascinated to see what the wrestle off was. Like, all right, guys. So, like, each of you hit it's like horse. You got to hit a back suplex the same way. You got to hit all those things. Camel clutch the same exact way. This is where I believe in this match. Jim Cornette, who's from Tennessee, right?
Kentucky, Louisville.
Kentucky. Oh, okay. Jim Cornette, who's from Kentucky. He makes a little joke about the Samoans probably being inbred.
Oh God, I did not catch that the first time. Oh, buddy.
He basically said they're people living on an island with their family. And that's why they all look alike. That's why they all look alike. That's what it was. Because they couldn't tell them apart, and they all look alike because it's basically they're inbred.
God, man.
And I dare him to say that to Fatu's face.
Yeah, I don't think he would. I'd be interested to see what old Fatu thinks about that these days. I bet he would have some thoughts about that. I wonder if he ever knew. Yeah.
Like you said, fucking Cornette. If you weren't aware in this match, there was 4 300-pounders. I'm sorry. Every time JR throws out these weights for people, he just makes shit up. I'm writing it down. 4 300-pounders in this match.
That leads me to a funny thing. I was listening to a podcast where it was letters to Dave Meltzer from The Observer, and somebody was like, why is everyone from Parts Unknown's weight unknown? And Dave Meltzer's line was, every time I get that, because anytime I've ever been in Parts Unknown, the last thing that I think about is how much I weigh. And that's where I'm at with this. You know what I mean? Like, cool. I don't think it matters to me right now who's over 300 pounds, JR. It is what it is, brother. Everyone's huge on gas.
I got it, man. 270 sounds pretty big to me. You don't have to make them over 300 pounds. I'm cool. Not everybody. No. I'm looking at Animal. He's not over 300 pounds. Cut your shit.
Yeah. And fuck Hawk's like flying clothesline, not with the Doomsday device, is just killer tonight. He hits another one, gets the big win. They win the whole motherfucker with 40 points.
That is wild though, right? Like they're not even doing the Doomsday device. Hawk's just like, no, I just do fucking clotheslines and motherfuckers die.
Yeah.
I don't need your shoulders anymore, Animal. I can just do this shit. I didn't know that.
Or 60 points. Why did I just say 40? Wait, no, that is right.
No, 40. It's 40. Yeah.
Jesus. See, it's so contrived. Good Lord. But either way, they win. And then they just sort of stay.
They went 40 to 35.
They sort of stand there. There's no trophy. That was another thing. I was like, you did this tournament and there's nothing. You won nothing. Literally. But whatever. And that leads us to
I came for a Smash trophy.
Literally.
And you motherfuckers didn't give me a Smash trophy.
That's another one.
I want the Steiners to bring them from behind with the trophy afterwards.
Yes.
Come on, people. We thread everything. Come on.
You just did a broken trophy angle the month before you had tournaments. Guys, Jim Hurd. Fuck, man.
Seriously, for that made-up award, we could have had the trophy here instead.
let's go forward. Anytime someone fucks something up royally that's easily fucking doable for them, it's called herding.
I heard you.
He herded that. That's a herd.
They heard people. They heard people.
Oh, there we go. Nice. We got to figure something out with that. We need that song for the show. Flair Sting. Here we go. You know, WCW, that's one thing, is sometimes they get it right. And it does feel like Flair Sting, Starrcade main event, probably should have been the one last year, right? That probably made more sense than Luger. I know that was the angle, but Sting got so over. But in a way, this is perfect because Sting's a year older. He's way better now. And it's funny because going into this show, I was like, this fucking tournament thing, it's going to suck. And it did. About midway through the show, I was like, this is a lot of fucking shit I don't care about. But it got us this because this was a perfect scenario. Flair and Sting, it's fucking cut and dry. They win with a win pinfall submission. If they go draw, Luger wins. And so it's like this. It's two elements here. It's the two biggest guys in your company going one-on-one, main event of Starrcade. So there's that allure, and Atlanta comes up for it. They're like, they get it. They're like, ooh, fuck, this is Starrcade main events, Flair Sting. Despite the fact that they're both faces, because immediately Flair makes that easy for you. He just goes back into fucking 88 dick bag Flair, which is what he needed to do. You know, it's like somebody here has got to be the asshole, and it's always going to be me. I'm Ric Flair. So that's great. He starts whooping ass. They beat the fuck out of each other here. There's a great, just, man, they're doing spots. They're just doing the roundabout fucking drop down. Fucking, I did say, where is it here? That their Sting press slamming Ric Flair needs to be in the Louvre. All right. That is like evergreen to me. You know, it doesn't matter what year it is either, you know, just that image. And in fact, all eras.
He can do it off the top rope, not off the top rope. Yeah. Either way, I like it. I'm a fan.
Yeah, give me 88 Clash 1, and then in the next panorama, fucking this one, and then the next panorama when he fucking wins it. Put a fucking the end Nitro of Flair in the shirt one where Crow Sting's doing it. Do it all. This was great. And like, it just is one of those fuzzy feeling sort of deals for me. Like Flair Sting and WCW for high stakes. This was great. And the crowd is like so clearly for Sting. I mean, he is white fucking hot here. And it's very similar to the Luger match for good reason, because that's how Flair structures things. You know, he takes the onslaught of Sting, but he's going after that knee. And I will say this, I did see earlier, and it's kind of like a bummer because I think it really was the catalyst to the big knee injury later. There's a moment, I think, with Muta where he takes a backdrop on his feet, and you see legitimately he kind of tweaks it. He lands weird, for sure. And I don't think it's just a work. I think he was feeling something in that knee. And so, obviously, a couple of months after this, the worst fucking thing ever happens, and he tears his shit completely. But this was phenomenal. They get to the bitter end. What is there, like a minute left? 30 seconds.
It has, it has here 14:30 for the match time. But yeah, we get down to like that final minute, and I'm like, yeah, Ric Flair's not great with clock management, so I don't think he's winning.
Yeah.
And Sting gets in there and it gets the small package for a victory, right? So it's like, because you really kind of go, oh, we have to go to that time limit, and Sting's like, no, fuck you, boom.
It was great.
I swear, these refs come very fast at times.
I think someone was like, we're running short on time, and it has to be that because he wins this. This is the same finish that ends up happening in July 90 when he wins the title. So this is a nice little, like, I can see exactly that Flair went, hey, I remember from the Omni of Starrcade, brother. Let's do that finish. So it's neat to see that, because I'm telling you that is exactly the deal. Because this fucking crowd was tiny, but they were loud for this one. This definitely feels like the coronation of Sting as the fucking guy of the 90s. And he is. There's nobody else from the 90s in America. Maybe Bret Hart, You know what I mean? That was a bigger fucking star throughout that whole time. Post-match, Flair and the Andersons give him the endorsement. They get in there and you think they're going to fucking turn heel here. This is going to be the Horseman beatdown. No, we're new, shiny, nice Horsemen. We're nice.
Ole Anderson's a face.
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet old Ole Anderson.
Yeah. That always lasts.
Sweet old Ole.
So then poor Gordon gets shit on. Because they got the Road Warriors on the stage and they cut a nonsensical promo. And poor Gordon's like, well, let's wait. Sting's going to be up here. And then they just go to credits. Because it's WCW. They just cut him off, Gordon Solie. Wow. And they left it in the Peacock thing, by the way. That's my favorite thing. Like, they're like, nah, this is how the fucking show ended.
This is how we won the Monday Night Wars.
Oh, my God, man. You talk about...
Sting Flair was a good match. It was a good match. And especially kind of the way they worked down to that ending and made it so tight. It was a good, and I'm looking at the results now though. Mm-hmm. You know, we get Sting as the winner of the singles, and it's kind of like, yes, he's crowned. He's kind of the next big thing, and it's just odd. Road Warriors winning it, and I'm wondering if the Skyscrapers were there. Like, would they have maybe won there to lead them into the Steiners? Maybe like it just feels weird for the Road Warriors to win it, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It just feels like that looking to the past more.
I have a theory on that, and let me see if I'm going to be correct. I'm going to pull up this show real quick. Actually, let's get to the Clash coming up.
Because we don't need a tournament to tell us the Road Warriors are awesome. We already know this.
Oh, yeah, of course. Is there not another Clash in fucking January? Surely there is.
Oh, Jesus.
Or are they insane enough? I don't see one.
Aren't they thinking about us? February 6th, it looks like.
Oh, that's why. They're so stupid. Jesus Christ, guys. Yeah, I see it. Texas Shootout. Oh, that's a good one. All right, no, we got a good one coming up. We're good. Well, fuck, hold on. Now I have whole other questions. See, now I'm confused. When is Capital fucking Combat then? Are they really stupid enough to do two major events? Oh, it's Wrestle War, not Capital Combat. And that is the same month. That is February 25th in Greensboro. But before that, obviously.
Shit, they do a lot in February. Wow.
They do a shit ton in February. But here's my main point about what you asked for about the Road Warriors. This is my theory. I think that this was literally to just try to keep them happy so they don't fucking leave. Because here's the interesting thing about what you just said. They are in the WWF by, let's see here. They are there in June of 90. So it's pretty clear that they're not happy. And I think in the dirt sheets, they're even fucking saying they're not very happy, but they agree to like a 1-year extension. It's something like that. It's very like surface level. And so I think that's what it was. They're like, hey, you're the Iron Team. That matters. And obviously it didn't work, but it gets them there. I don't know. It's very bizarre.
Rick's happy with his fake awards, aren't you?
Exactly. Rick's happy with the fucking... Exactly. Overall, it was a good show because the end was so good, but there was no need for these Iron tournaments at all.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy to say that, but also I look at the roster and I'm like, I don't know how many more interesting matches you could have thrown at me anyway.
That's true.
Dr. Death versus Rotunda, or Tommy Rich versus Norman. I don't know what else you could have thrown on here where I'd be like, oh, that Norman versus Z-Man, cool. Like, we would have gotten a Z-Man match if more people were included. We would have had a Z-Man match. Letting you know that much.
Well, that leads us to Clash 10, our next episode. And what do we have on that card? Well, let me fucking tell you, buddy. 2 things that you immediately are not going to be happy about. Flying Brian and Z-Man are back. So
for life.
Brian's injury, not too bad. Out about 6 weeks. Samoan Savage opens against Dr. Death. He's back from Japan, and I believe at this time he was New Japan. So that's an interesting... Oh, he'd have to be because All Japan said fuck you. So that's fun. Cactus Jack Manson taking on Mil Mascaras. Buddy, this is interesting and infamous.
I'm not excited for that one. Nope.
It's got a great finish at least. But Falls Count Anywhere, Norman the Lunatic against Kevin Sullivan.
With a 1.96 rating. Can't wait to see that one.
Yeah. The Road Warriors against the new Skyscrapers, Dan Spivey and Mean Mark. So we got that going on. This is an interesting little deal. I'm interested to see the build for this. It's build NWA World Tag Titles versus Masks match. Steiner Brothers against Doom. So we know already how that ends, I guess. That's interesting.
But Jim Ross can tell them by their pectorals, by their pectoral development. So he doesn't even care about the masks.
And then you talk about Cursed Images Before Disaster, the Steel Cage 6-man, 4 Horsemen, Arn, Ole, and Flair against, now they're called Gary Hart International, Buzz Sawyer, Dragon Master, and Muta. And this, of course, is the moment. Later, after at the end of the match, Sting goes for a run-in to run into the cage, and he tears his knee out. So this is it. I thought it was going to be the Clash, and it is. So Clash 10, very mixed bag. It's kind of a bummer, but it's also, we got Cactus Jack here now. We got some things moving along here, and I believe this also is when Ole takes over.
I mean, you just skipped over the Mod Squad's arrival.
Oh, yeah. Basher and Spike. You know what's interesting about that? They were apparently a big deal in Memphis at some point. So that's fun. They are very Memphis if you think about it. It's like, oh, yeah, they'll get over. So I found that out because I was looking around with fucking random shit because I'm a psychopath, as we already know. Oh, buddy. So WCW just can't win at all. It's like they do this big coronation for Sting. He's the man going forward. Oh, just kidding. Tear your knee out. Hey, Luger. Hey, Luger, you want to go babyface? And he's like, not fucking really. So
you guys have met me, right? You've met me before?
He's like,
I am not a natural babyface.
let me finish flexing in the mirror for a second. I'll give you an answer. So, man, this is some 89 shit, like, wow. That's what I kept, like, going back to.
Did you watch, you've watched Mallrats, right?
Of course.
What's Brody's last name in that movie?
I don't fucking remember.
Because there's a wrestler, Brody Chase, and whenever I see it as Brody Chase, in my head, it's the character from Mallrats, but I don't think it is. But I also can't stop thinking about it.
That's crazy. I've watched that movie 4 million times. One of my buddies growing up was obsessed with fucking Kevin James.
Me too. We used to rent it. We rented that movie so much.
Yeah.
Like we eventually bought it because it was tape. Like I think we mentioned before. Like back in the day, when you bought like a VHS tape, they were like $100.
Yeah.
That's why they were rental places because they were so damn expensive. It wasn't until I think Ghost was one of the first ones that came out that was like cheap. It was like $20, so people could actually buy it.
Yeah, so that's 90. So that makes.
We always recorded on two VCRs and got them all recorded. But I finally got a Mallrats VHS or DVD. I think I can't remember if it's DVDs yet. And yeah, we'll play the shit out of that. Actually, dude, if you want, I actually have an extra 4K. I think that it was damaged case. So they sent me another one for free. So I have a damaged case one if you're interested.
The fuck yeah, actually, I love those movies, man. That's great.
But yeah, kind of look at the upcoming. Doesn't like too many kind of new people. But you do get our Mark Callis in here, so that's pretty exciting.
That'll be a fun little watch. And you got Kevin Sullivan about to stiff the fuck out of Norman. That's for sure. Cactus Jack will be there to get killed.
They just say Jack Victory and Rip Morgan. They stopped calling them the New Zealand militia here at one point, I guess, before they switch over.
Yeah.
And then they're still calling them the JTEX Corporation in the matches leading up to the Clash.
They never know what to do, right? Like, they're Gary Hart International, but we're not going to say it. Like, what? Oh, my God.
But the one thing I will shout out is appreciate Kevin on commentary. Not as good as Michael, but I do appreciate him hitting Jared back on his shit and sticking up for a scumbag.
For sure, for sure. He's a welcome addition. If we're not going to have fucking Hayes, who I don't know what's going on. I assume he's just selling that they lost the belts. That's kind of a thing that would happen back then. Because he's not like gone. He comes back. Like, I think he's back in 90 doing matches. I'm pretty sure. I know he's back in 91 because they try to redo him and Jimmy again on a Clash, and it's a total disaster. We'll have fun with that one. But yeah, that's fucking. That's,
we're gonna get a lot of Cactus Jack.
A lot of Cactus Jack, thank God, because man, this is like baby Cactus. Like he's just starting to land on his head on the concrete. So
not fun. Oh, and the Fantastics are back.
Yes,
Great.
The real Fantastics, I believe. I hope.
And more Tommy Rich versus Mike Rotunda.
Woo, dude, I'm right there for that. Well, because they were like, "Fuck, we killed a ref." So we might as well do it again, you know, because curse.
I have to rewatch that match now.
Yeah, buddy, it's fucking weird.
I'm wondering if that's the one I was seeing where I was like, why the fuck aren't the refs paying attention to the match at all? That must have been it.
Yeah, I bet it
Because I did see the two refs in a corner with another ref. And yeah, in my head, I was just like, why does it take two of you to... I didn't realize the severity of it. That's crap.
Poor Tony, man. The ref of the 80s easily, but yeah, man. We're going to next time we're on this pod, guys. We're firmly in 1990. We're in the 90s now. Hell yeah, bro.
Early for the 90s, living in the 80s, waiting for the big. Wild West by Escape Club. That's a song from the late 80s. But hurling towards the 90s to living in the 80s.
Fuck.
Living in the back room, waiting for the big boom. Give me Wild West. Give me safe sex. Give me love. Give me time to live it up.
Oh my God, bro. Well, Right Said Fred's 91, so we can't play that yet. 90,
that's like ninth grade, yeah.
What's the 90 deal? See, the 90's my blind spot since I was, 1.
Eighth grade, I think, for me.
Damn, bro. What are we doing in 90? What's cool in 90? Is that Public Enemy?
Simpsons. Public Enemy, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. 87 got us Black Steel and the Hour of Chaos, got Take a Nation of Millions. So right there, we're probably getting Fear of Black Planet. It's probably right around that time, yeah.
That's a great album. I'm trying to think of another great 90 album.
Right around probably Beastie Boys. Paul's Boutique is probably going to be near this area. So we excited for the 90s. Come on.
Yeah, the cassettes are dominating at this point in time still. I don't think CDs are even near affordable, right?
I didn't have it.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't have a CD player at this point.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you this. I mean, into late 90s, granted, I'm from like literally a place in time that was practically frozen in the 50s when I was a kid because I am from rural Arkansas. But, dude, cassettes were still dominating in the late 90s where I'm from. Like, not very many people had a CD player back then. They were like, especially in the car. You never got a car with a CD player back then. That was like weird.
No, that was like after 2000.
Yeah, that's when it became standard. You might have two. That was a thing where it was like CD and cassette. That was kind of like becoming a thing, but no one had CDs for a while. Anyway, we were
poor. We couldn't do CDs.
Fuck no. Feels like everyone was poor in the fucking 90s, right? It was like no one had goddamn money. They did. Just no one spent.
You know what? We were kids. Our parents had money.
Exactly. There you go.
Money.
Yeah. So there you go. As usual, you are the JIMDB everywhere socials are. Blue Sky, Threads. I mean, that's the socials that matter anyway.
I'm trying the TikTok thing now, man. And I gotta tell you, like 50% of the ads that come at me are fucking country music.
What the fuck is that?
I am assuring you guys, I am not listening to your shit music. I try to block them as fast as I can. I'm hoping the algorithm learns, but they just keep pushing country music on me, and I'm like, sorry. I'm sorry, buddy. You're crack. I ain't listening to your music.
Yeah, fuck that shit. But and then of course I am Troubles Wrestling Pod on Instagram and Threads, and I am also Troubles Weekly on Blue Sky. And I gotta call it out. I am dipping a toe back into X a little bit. I'm Troubles Weekly there. If you got X, I found my little corner. This is what I'll say about X. I found what works with X. You got to find the old boomer wrestling fans that aren't complete fucking scumbags. Like a lot of the Death Valley driver board guys, they're just tech boomers. So they just didn't get off X. So guys like Phil Schneider, guys like Phil Ripa, well, I don't know if Ripa's on there, but guys like Eric R, he's on there, Saguna Kaida, blah, blah, blah. Those guys are there. And I've been really into their shit because I love their writing and stuff. So I'm like, well, fuck. You know, who am I to, you know, cast disparagements on a platform, even though an evil billionaire owns it that's clearly a ketamine addict. I'm just here for the ride. Mean,
you asked me who am I to do that, and I say I am me, and that is what I should do.
Exactly. There you go. So yeah, I'm everywhere is all I'm trying to say. I'm everywhere posting weird fucking gifs and stuff of Terry Funk. Basically, is what I'm doing these days. So
it's all very, very sexy stuff.
It really is, man. He was the man. Getting pointers from Gordon Soley. So I'm going to get a pointer for Gordon Soley and wrap this motherfucker up. Until next time, just bathe in the glory of Sting's push now, because it won't be long. You'll be getting babyface Luger yet again. Peace.